Hey everybody, welcome back. We're going to do a video talking a little bit about Jubilee, the requirements. Obviously you read it in the blog. I'm going to talk about some speculation about why it might be really important to build up the characters to get Jubilee, which are obviously Pimtech that we saw. And we're going to talk about a little bit how the Axemen or the Astonishing X-Men are shaping up. And really, I think the biggest thing that we're going to take away from this is the potential speculation about where and why you might want to focus on Jubilee and making sure to get those Pimtech up. So, and we'll give a shout out to Uncanny Kate when we get there, right? All right, let's do it.
Bring me Wolverthor!
Okay, so we're not going to go through the blog. The blog's out there, or the post, or whatever it was. It wasn't even really a blog. But it talked about, Jubilee up here, that the Pimtech are going to be required. She's a 5-star unlock. The Pimtech thing is not, I think, anything that surprised everybody. Most of the speculation, I'd say, was revolving around Pimtech. The thing that was maybe slightly different is, some people thought maybe it could be Skelettary, but with only 2 new tunes there, it seemed much more likely that because of these 3 tunes with Ghost Stature and Yellow Jacket that it was going to go around. And it did. So the exciting part about this read is really just the fact that we got to see a first look at her passive, which is called Mallrat. And, it's interesting to see how this team's shaking up. Look, the kit in general or the passive in general, I like it. Some people don't like it. But what I do like about it is that it speeds up Beast, which, as his passive comes around, he heals people. So this speed bar by 30% and giving him energy gives him more chance to heal his allies and get to that passive, which also additionally heals X-Men allies. So I like that. The 30%, there's probably going to be a 10% in there in the T4. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 20% in the T4 to make you spend it, in which that by itself I would think you'd want to go ahead and do that with Jubilee just because the T4 is too good. The enemy death filling X-Men allies by speed bar by 25%. That's a very Ultimus type thing where normally Ultimus, if he gets the killing blow, he will speed up Kree and allies a little bit. So this is a little bit better than that because it's on any enemy's death. So I like that. There's some synergy here for all Astonishing X-Men, and they threw in Wolverine, I think, for a little lore there, which is, it's fine. Little comic love there, but yeah, let's be real. You're not probably going to use Wolverine on this team. But the nice part here is that on this character and each Astonishing X-Men, you're always going to apply assist now. So this is Mr. Fantastic and Miss Marvel special, but I guess it's really more like Mr. Fantastic special, where you're just always going to get that assist, which is going to be awesome because when we're going to look at the Astonishing X-Men a little bit in case you forgot their kits, and we're going to talk about how they're going to start synergizing a little bit. And I want you to pay attention to Iceman's his counter or his assist, because there is a nice slow that gets added there if he does it. So that's pretty sweet. And Beast has a very similar kit. You get the 30% max health, which is great. Now we kind of expected this to be a kind of a raid team. I have to admit, in Gamma, we're only doing 4-2, but even at 4-2, those X-Men lanes, they're not that hard. I don't know how hard it's going to be in 4.3. We're not running that. We're not high enough, but I'd have to anticipate I don't think that the whales out there are going to go, I need Jubilee to get these down. I think it's really the middle lanes a bit. Those are the ones that are hard, and you can't use X-Men there. So I think it'll make the X-Men lanes a little bit easier, but we'll see. So the nice part here I love is the 20% speed for self. That's dope. The 40% damage, though, don't lose that, because I mean, this team did need some damage in raids, in my opinion. And we'll see who the 5th character is. We still don't know, Bishop, but it's there, and I like it. So this was her passive, which is solid. We saw, earlier we saw a... who is this? This is Kitty Pryde's, right? Yeah, so Kitty Pryde came around, and then in her passive, it talked about on enemy turn, apply, evade to the most injured ally, all these different things. It's like, well, there was something missing from this kit, which we eventually found out was that in another blog here, the one that was Jubilee, the day 4, the sneak peek, besides seeing the special, which we'll cover in a second, if Jubilee is an ally on enemy miss or Astonishing X-Men dodge, heal the most injured Astonishing X-Men. So it's like, okay, and we'll go over that in a second where that matters, but Well, actually, let's just talk about it now for a second. On enemy turn, apply evade to the most injured Astonishing X-Men ally herself. So on any time an enemy turns, she's going to be applying evade to the most injured. So then, if Jubilee is the ally, it's going to heal. Now, this is coming from Kitty Pryde, so she's going to come out next week. We'll see what her kit's like. We'll check out her stats and all that kind of thing. But we're going to want a giant health pool on Kitty Pryde for that reason, because 10% max health and not a stacking dodge situation, it's kind of like, all right, well, we need to make sure that, these heals are worthwhile. And then we're going to go into MSF.gg here, where we're really going to kind of look at the full, the full aspects of Jubilee and these four, because, there's still a fifth out there, which, look, all the speculation and based on the, what was it? It wasn't even data mine. It was like a messed up leak, but Bishop appears to be the likely fifth character on this team, who I think is going to be pretty sweet. There's probably going to be some pretty interesting parts of his kit, but, looking at Beast first, one of the things, like I said, assists, right? So he's going to flip 2 positive effects to negative effects on every time he does an assist. That's huge. So if he does the assist now for this Jubilee thing, that's a great assist now. You love that positive effect flip there. That's the thing to pay attention with him. His kit is pretty, it's fine. His basic flips some more positive effects. The part that really, where it's about speeding up Beast and getting the energy to him, is his special, is part 1, where it's going to heal the 2 most injured allies for 20% of this character's max health, and you're going to attack everybody. This is a 3-turn cooldown, which is great when you're getting 1 energy from Jubilee, when we're talking about her passive here, where it's on a, if an X-Men drops below 50% health, she does that and then gives ability energy to Beast. So it's going to get back to him so that he can hopefully use his ability, heal the 2 most injured, right? Now, he's obviously got this nice ultimate, which gives a bunch of buffs and does some ability energy for support, for all support, and it's generate the ability energy for self and all support and Astonishing X-Men allies. So you're going to give energy to everybody there. Now, the part that is also on top for the heals here is, where is it? Regen, the most injured. If it's a X-Men, heal them also for 15%. If the ally is an Astonishing X-Men, heal again. So you've got a massive heal here where you're doing regen and essentially 35% HP heal there, which I love it, right? So that's where Beast is going to come into play. It's really going to be the heals. You like the assist there with the flipping 2 negative effects, or 2 positive effects to a negative effect. Next up is Kitty Pryde, who we already know. We talked about her passive a little bit, where it now shows that if Jubilee is an ally on an enemy miss or an Astonishing X-Men dodge, she's going to heal the most injured for 5% of this character's max health. There's some additional stuff on raids that's great, where you're going to get some defense up, but the important thing here is, on enemy turns, 60% chance to apply evade. All right, we go up to level 5 here on MSF.gg, and it is apply evade. You're going to want to do this T4 on Kitty Pryde. 100% essential. You don't want that 60%. You need it 100%. That is something you want to drop a T4 into. So if you're thinking you're going to do this team, make sure you save T4s for that. Her basic with the, or not her basic, the assist, where we're talking about getting something with Jubilee, she's going to clear 1 positive effect. Not bad. So if she assists, still a nice result. It's not just a poke. It's going to clear something. Basic, nothing to cover here. These are her abilities. We'll go over these in a character review video. But really the part I wanted to talk about is the clearing positive effect and the T4 in the passive, so that you can see that you really need to make sure to apply that evade. So the last character that we know about for sure is Iceman. A lot of people are upset that he's not the legendary. He's a solid tune. We'll see exactly how he plays out with the team. What I like about him is all the slows he puts. And we're talking about the assists here, given Jubilee's passive, and he's going to apply slow whenever he assists. So we've got a flip positive buffs into negatives from Beast. We got a clear positive effect from Kitty Pryde, and we got an apply slow for Iceman. So we're getting great assists from at least these 3. I'm expecting Jubilee, and if it's Bishop, to do something very similar, where you're happy if any one of these characters assists. So it's not really frustrating. It's like, I keep getting Bishop who's assisting and all he does is damage. Or maybe his damage is going to be so high, it's fine. You got slows all over the place with this guy, which are important. Again, we're not going to go over Iceman in detail here because we'll do a character review video on him. It talks about reviving with all these astonishing X-Men, which is great. And then the slowest play in for him for doing some extra damage. But again, this video is not about Iceman, right? It's about Jubilee. So this passive is great. You know, the special I talked about earlier. Let's see, where's the special here? So on the, the week 4 blog here, I highlighted this. Jubilee special attacks primary targets and then calls all of the astonishing X-Men allies to attack. It's that Red Skull type attack, right? And if she eliminates it, she's going to spread multiple negative effects. So that's all we know about her right now is the passive we went through, the synergy that we got from all of these other characters as far as their assists and some of the healing. And then this part, we really don't know, other than spreading multiple negative effects from the target to all our enemies. So maybe if there's a defense down, if there's a slow and you want to make sure to spread it, that's when you bust out this special ability for Jubilee. But again, you want to make sure that you actually eliminate that target. So you got to be smart when you use that. So right now I'm really liking kind of how this team is coming together. I think they're solid. The one thing that I want to talk about a little bit before kind of wrapping up here is, Uncanny Kate, who's on my Discord server, came up with this idea. So 100% shout out to her. And I'm not sure I'd call it an idea, but an inclination, a gut feeling that she's got about Pimtech and Jubilee and the Astonishing X-Men going into another character. So we remember with Asgard into Black Bolt, Inhumans into Ebony Maw, right? Uncanny Kate was saying, this feels like this could be another one of those. And I was thinking about it a bit, and I actually think she's right. Again, this is just a gut feeling. She admitted no inside information, and I don't have any inside information on this, but I just thought about it after she said it and was kind of like, not a lot of people love Pimtech, so they're probably not going to go big, or they haven't gone big into them. People aren't loving Jubilee, even with the passive, which I think is decent, but, people are, it's just for raids, and it's, for Gamma Raid, which we really don't even need her for that at this point, even the whales who are clearing 4.3. Okay, all right, maybe some of the mid-tier level, top 100, like 20 to, top 300 type players, and then everybody else as well want Jubilee to help clear that lane a little bit easier. But the whales who spend a lot of the money, it sounds like they're okay. So there's got to be a way to really drive this team. On top of that, we just went through 3 characters here that are all 2 characters that are brand new, and Beast, who's not really super farmable. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I go to my roster here, and I'm waiting for my Beast, right? And it's like, all right, where's my Beast? Where's my Beast? I just recently brought him up a little bit because I'm not really using him. But I'm like, all right, well, I've got 5 reds on, which is great, but I've only got 5 stars, and I'm not anywhere close to 6, and he's nowhere to be found except for orbs. So I'm like, huh. And we know the RTA that's coming is Yellow Jacket, so I'm like, okay. So we kind of have, in my opinion, 3 characters, and Beast he wasn't like oh my gosh, you got to get Beast, everybody buying him. Some did, but not a lot did. And you've got 2 new characters. So we've got at least 3. I'll go a half with Beast, and definitely a 4th with Bishop or whoever the other Astonishing X-Men is. You've basically got a full team of new characters, fine, 4 and Beast, for a potential additional legendary unlock. It makes sense to me. It drives the money. None of these tunes are really, Pimtech weren't really greatly coveted. Beast wasn't really super coveted. Jubilee isn't necessarily being super coveted. So I'm seeing like, this just makes sense. So I'm expecting, I think Kate might be right here. And I'm maybe not expecting, but I'm thinking this could be. So if you're thinking about not spending money on this team and you're worried about future legendaries, FOMO is going to set in now. And I'm sorry, but once she said it and I started thinking about it a little bit more, it just seemed to make sense. I could see this being for, an eternal unlock for like a Black Knight, or if he's, because there was a lot of rumors about him, coming. It's like, all right, I think the Eternals are eventually going to take over Black Order in the arena. So it's like, you really want a nice chain to get to whatever legendary we're talking about. So look, I don't know if it's going to be right or not. The Eternals could be a ways off, so that might not make sense. Maybe it is Blade. There's a lot of rumors about that. You don't typically have legendary after legendary, but, I don't remember the time between Black Bolt and Ebony Maw, but not a lot of people were still struggling there to get the Ebony Maw unlock, and even those who had it was 6 unless you were Whale, then you got it 7. So that's what I'm gonna leave there for you. Think about whether you really want to pass on these tunes or not with that potential out there. And Candy Kate, just again, it's no inside information. She just thought, hey, this seems like it makes sense. And I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I think that's right. So I wanted to give her a shout out. She's on the Discord. She's a very polite, good person, very knowledgeable in the game. So that's what I got. Jubilee, Pimtech Unlock. I wanted to talk about some synergy with the team. So I appreciate you guys stopping by. Hammer down on that like button, notification bell, subscription button, all that kind of stuff. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.